Today, let me talk about why we should boycott the meat, dairy and egg industry. First, animal protein supports IGF-1 growth, creating hormone. It is a great factor in the growth of cancer cells. This can have a role in the occurrence of breast cancer and many different other cancers like pancreas cancer. What IGF-1 actually do is that it lets cells grow. Specifically, when you're an adult, it helps you to become more overweight, and it helps to grow cancers in your body if you have them. Other reasons to boycott the dairy, milk, egg, and flesh industry is that big factory farms like Smithfield often drop their amount of waste, the feces, the manure over poor neighborhoods. Where there are often placed. They have a large amount of filth, water around the facilities, like this guy. I was an ex-pig farmer, explains.
Down, and I got out of it, and I couldn't. I just couldn't do another person that way to make them smell that. It is a cesspool that you put feces and urine in, a hole in the ground that you dump a toxic waste in. And I've seen dead hogs in them and stuff like that. I've seen it. I've talked to the people. I've seen the little children. They say, Mom and Daddy, why we got to smell this stuff? You get stories like, I can't hang my clothes out. Feces and urine odor comes by and attaches itself to your clothes. And then people will say, we're scared to invite neighbors.
There are also many complaints of people, specifically black people who live in poor neighborhoods, how complain that Smithfield and other hog farms
of hog farm operations.
This is where they spray animal waste on us. This is about 8 feet from my mother's house.
What is it like when the mist is?
It's like, you think it's raining? You think it's raining. We don't open the doors or the windows, but the odor still comes in. It takes your breath away. Then you start gagging, you get headaches.
Hog is another name for a pig. Little creatures can become very big as well, and have the mental capacity by our standards of that of a toddler, a child of 3. Those animals are put in small metal cages. Often don't get even this filthy conditions where they cannot move in metal iron bars. Mother metal iron bars, so they don't develop so much muscle, so they don't waste too much energy. Imagine that this is your life. Your whole life be put in a bar, an iron bar. This hell for them. If pigs ever did have an organized religion, they will pick the people and put them in these places as the absolute symbol of the devil. That's not my words. That's what the pigs will say. If they did can speak so-called human languages. Another reason to boycott the meat industry is because many countries around the world don't force the animal processing plants, or I prefer to call them animal concentration death camps, because the animals are cut up, gassed. Literally, they are gassed often, or throat slit. It's all legal things that are happening around the world. Legal does not mean moral, people. I hope you have learned that from history class. Otherwise, your history teacher did not have done a good job, if you ask me. As somebody who likes to read history. In many factories and many animal execution houses, slaughterhouses, packing companies, these workers have been infected with COVID-19 because of the production of the animals. Supply and demand. If you aren't eating meat, then responsible partly for those conditions of those workers. So you can go vegan to stop slaughterhouse workers getting infected with coronavirus, instead of doing nothing, complaining only. And you can also stop doing that for the animals, because the animals, look to the animals, look how scary it is for them. They're in a room, they smell blood in the air, they hear their family, their friends scream in agony. They know what comes next. I have been to those places. I know the smell. On factory farms, smells despicable. Slaughterhouses smell despicable. The smell of fear and tyranny and agony. It is hell. It smells like hell. And areas that are cleaned after the whole day long. No? So it's on the end of the part, just like in a kitchen often. And I know it because I work in a kitchen when I was smaller. I needed to do that for school. I did not do the part of the flesh because I was already then vegan. So I did work with making soups in at restaurants and salad bar, and yeah, because I did work in the kitchen. But this is for another time. I also did find this from Dr. Milton Mills on the website of Democracy Now! That's a YouTube channel. He was talking about that, according to him, the meat processors are going to maybe also get the flesh infected because of the sweat of the people that working in those conditions. Look what he says.
When you're treating COVID patients, obviously, when you're treating a patient, you can't distance. But what we have is full body PPE. And in cases where these slaughterhouses are not able to provide appropriate social distancing for their employees, they must supply them with full body PPE to keep them protected.
However, let me say this, that looking at the photos when they are wearing all of that, which is like a spacesuit with a face mask, and often they have glasses of their own, they are sweating.
Yes, it is very, very uncomfortable. There's nowhere from it yet.
But I'm asking you, Dr. Mills, what are the health threats of people who could be infected with COVID-19 sweating onto meat?
Well, I mean, again, I'm going to express my opinion about this.
So, since animal agriculture is not, and I repeat, not necessarily for our health, not necessarily for the environment, like I've said in many of my videos, animal agriculture is one of the main reasons of all major problems in the world. From 51% of all the greenhouse gas emissions that's coming from the animal agriculture industry. From a study, World Watch Institute, the website, 2006. 32.8 billion ton of equivalent amount of from other greenhouse gases. Tons of methane, like methane, carbon dioxide directly into the air. That is the amount of greenhouse gas produced by animal agriculture. At least the amount of greenhouse gas is produced by animal agriculture. I'm a scientist. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Republican. I am a realist. Animal agriculture is not a necessarily industry. Just like the tobacco industry is not a necessarily industry. McDonald's is not a necessarily industry. So they should not get subsidies. Do you know what is necessarily? Fruit, vegetables. And where go all the subsidies to? In the United Kingdom, for example, just 0.03% is for vegetables and fruits. The other, animal agriculture, meat production, and that kind of things. So, it's time to give the subsidies to the things that actually make people healthy, instead of that people get higher chances of cancer, heart disease, and other Western diseases, like Dr. Greger said in his video, where he did talk about the leading causes of death.
These are the top 15 causes of death, the top 15 reasons Americans die. And a plant-based diet can help prevent nearly all of them, can help treat more than half of them, and in some cases even reverse the progression of disease, including our top 3 killers. Now, there are drugs that can help too, right? You can take one drug to treat cholesterol every day for the rest of your life, another drug for blood sugars, a few more pills for your blood pressure. The same diet, though, does it all, right? It's not like, one diet for this and then a different diet for this, right? One diet to rule them all.
Animal protein, humane, cholesterol, trans fat, extreme amount of salt, parasites. Also you can find in fish, you find a lot of parasites and pesticides, heavy metals. Your body has no need for animal flesh or animal protein. Like it have no need for human flesh. You don't need to eat people, and so you don't have to eat animal people. Animals are sentient and aware, like the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness said in 2012. Please stop denying facts. Peace begins on the dinner table, people. How about you eat on a daily basis?